How do you identify potentials in your children, your boy child or girl child? My name is Adejumo. I teach leadership at WCU, Los Angeles, California. When I was growing up, I was very interested in sound. And if it was well cultivated, you'll be fine. There's only one department you can join in church when you're growing up, and that is in choir. Look, the point I'm making is, parents need to learn how to identify potentials in their children. First of all, watch what they do naturally. Secondly, observe how they solve problems. Number 3, notice what makes them emotional. And number 4, separate potential from gender stereotype. I'll break it down. And lastly, you need to expose your children and support them. Let me take it from the top. There is gift, there is talent, and when you organize a talent, it will become a skill. I'll stop there. Here's the point. Talent whispers originally. It doesn't shout. Don't start with what you want your children to become. You need to watch what they do naturally without pressure. Okay? What do they like to do? What do they like to repeat? What comes naturally to them? What holds their attention for a very long time? You know, children have short attention span. So what do they do that keeps them attentive? You need to know what it is first of all. That's it. You need to observe how they solve problems. How do you know a child that is analytical in his thinking, or who is going to have a leadership trait or skill, or the one that will be creative in his or her thinking, the one that will be logical, the one that will have empathy? You have to observe how they solve problems. Parents, please don't make this mistake. Some of your children will lead. Some of them will analyze. Some will create. Some will pay attention to something more than others. You need to know what those things are, because that's where leadership starts from. Watch how they respond. For example, if something breaks in the house, when you are not happy, when you are moody, how does that make them feel? Some children are so attentive and sensitive. You also need to pay attention to what makes them emotional, what makes them angry, what makes them excited, what makes them protective or curious. Don't silence that emotion. You need to find out what it is so that you will know how to help them groom it. I told you, you need to separate potential from gender stereotypes. Potentials don't have genders. African parents, please listen to me. That she's a girl doesn't mean she cannot lead. And being a boy doesn't mean he's not going to be compassionate. Leadership is not only for boys, for God's sake. And creativity is also not for girls only. Let your daughter explore her strength. Don't box any of your child into a stereotype. A girl plays football and you said, no, that's a game for the boys. Really? Not anymore. You can't do that. What are you doing in the kitchen? Boys don't go into the kitchen. No, you can't talk like that. Not anymore. Parents, please, if a boy is interested in kitchen things, by all means. Have you seen boys online? Chef? People. Definition of jobs have been redefined in 21st century. And lastly, I want you to expose your children and support them. If you have the capacity to make them travel, by all means, let them travel. Expose them to books. Expose them to skills, extracurricular activities. On skill acquisition days at school, what can they do outside physics, mathematics, chemistry, basic science? Can they sing? Can they speak French? Can they dance? Can they speak another language? Can they learn musical instruments? Can they cook? Expose your children to sports, art, faith, responsibility, leadership. Because as long as you nurture their curiosity, they will turn out well. And I hope this makes sense to you, really. I'll see you around. Do me a favor, subscribe, follow me, share these videos, let people know what's going on. Let us push the right narrative out there so that they won't destroy the lives of our children. I'll see you around.